Trump lawyer Alina Habba is not very optimistic about Trump's chances in beating his election interference case in New York City. Taking to Newsmax, Habba was asked by Greg Kelly, "How are things going?"
But I don't have hopes really that high at this moment that the New York courts will do the right thing, that the jury will do the right thing. We're in a blue state, as you know, Greg, and I think everything's by design. We're in a case that was 8 years old, over the statute of limitations, was denied by Cy Vance, then brought only after President Trump decided he was going to run for office. And like you said, look at how many people they've got. And I can't talk about it, but because of the unconstitutional gag order. But I think that we should also take a look at who's on that team and where those people came from. It's very troubling, as you know, and I know you know it well. And we're in the fight of our lives at this moment.
I can't talk about it right now, because of the gag order. You're literally talking about it right now. Going so far as to paint it as a conspiracy. No, here's the thing. You're not subject to the gag order. You're not involved in the case. You're not representing Donald Trump. Why? Why is Alina Habba not representing Donald Trump? Well, she's not a criminal lawyer. That's why. She's a civil lawyer. So that's why the Trump team hired an actual criminal attorney. Look, Alina Habba is the Real Housewives of New York or whatever lawyer that sued Facebook on behalf of that client who claimed that the company had disabled her account for wishing Melania Trump a happy birthday. What a ridiculous lawsuit. What a complete and utter joke. That's who she is, all right? And by the way, that case, the case that she, first case that she worked on for Trump was immediately dismissed by the judge for failing as a matter of constitutional law. Yes. Note the word failing, which is something that Alina Habba has been doing quite often as of late. In fact, just recently, earlier today, her appeal on the E. Jean Carroll case, denied by a judge. So, now the other case, of course, happens to be on appeal. That is the fraud case in New York. So, but here's what's hilarious about this, right? So Alina Habba is just randomly popping up outside of courtrooms and on right-wing media. And she's saying ridiculous things, even though she has nothing to do with this case whatsoever. And an example of a couple of ridiculous things, last week Habba claimed that Trump's naps in court, he's falling asleep and according to some people, farting while asleep, and it's really smelly and rank and disgusting. Again, hearsay, right? I don't know about that. But certainly it looked like he was falling asleep in court. Well, she was saying that, he's very busy, okay? He's very busy. He's tired, and he reads a lot. Knowing what we know from Trump, from people who had served in the White House while he was president, he's a two-pager kind of guy. He doesn't read past 2 pages and won't read anything unless it's got his name peppered in. They had to keep his briefings down to tweet-length segments, 140 characters at the time, okay? That's how small it was, with his name peppered in, so that he would pay attention to it. Oh, but no, he's reading. He reads all the time, which is why he's so, so tired, because he's so busy. He's catching up with everything, all the legal stuff. No. What he does, the reason that he is so tired is that he goes and gets up at 2 a.m, gets on
Truth, Central,
and then violates his gag order. That's what he does. Okay. She also, by the way, argued, speaking of ridiculous arguments, getting back to that having to show up for a criminal trial, something that every criminal defendant has to do, is a violation of his due process rights. Again, everyone in a criminal trial has to show up. That is a matter of law. But no, apparently Donald Trump above the law. She also claimed that if Judge Juan Merchan issues him a fine for repeatedly violating the gag order, it would make him America's version of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. I think, like anybody, he's concerned about going to jail. But if they put him in jail for his First Amendment right, he would be like Nelson Mandela. I mean, that would be just absurd. Okay, first of all, you do not have the First Amendment right to attack witnesses in a criminal case who will be testifying against you. That is not your constitutional right, okay? Or, by the way, you also don't have the right to attack the judge, the staff, or even the judge's family. No, that's not what the First Amendment protects you, okay? Look, there are limits to the First Amendment, especially in a courtroom setting. If you disrupt the court with your outbursts, you can't just say, I'm sorry, I'm just a First Amendment. I have the right to scream loudly in court. No, you're going to get hit with contempt of court. And if you attack witnesses that are going to be testifying against you, guess what? That is witness intimidation. Those things are illegal for a reason. For a reason. Look, it's a good thing that Alina Habba is not working on this case, at least if you're, on the side of Trump, right? Because she would completely blow it. Anyone represented by her in a criminal trial would be completely and totally screwed because she's an idiot. Look, the prosecution has to build up a case, a good case, right? That the falsification of the business records was ordered by Trump with the express purpose of helping his political campaign. Since it is a criminal trial, they have to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that it was because of Trump's political aspirations and nothing else. Can't be for personal reasons, because if it was for personal reasons, to be like, oh, I don't want to be embarrassed by, I don't want my wife finding out that I had an alleged affair with, a porn star, even though I completely denied it, still would be super embarrassing and have to deal with that. Well, that wouldn't be illegal. Even falsifying business records for that case wouldn't be illegal. It'd be a misdemeanor at most. Catch and kill isn't illegal. Hush money isn't illegal. Falsifying business records, as I mentioned, is a misdemeanor. No, what the prosecution has to do is make the case that it was in pursuit of another crime, that these business records were falsified. And so, again, they have to make the case that it was all to help him become president. All right? And if they can't convince the jury of that, then he's going to walk. So, yeah, look, Alvin Bragg has, in the prosecution, they do have their work cut out for them. This is not going to be an easy case to make. Yes, they've got a lot of evidence to back him up that he made the falsification, and that, all this stuff was set up to try to bury these stories. Yes, but you have to, again, tie it to his election campaign. Habba does not understand the very case that she is talking about. But there is one thing that she does understand, and that's the politics surrounding it. See, she's actually a political science major, okay? That she took that in college, then decided to switch over to law after her fashion career didn't turn out, all right? So she knows the politics of this, and so that's why she's out there. One of the reasons she is out there randomly popping up in interviews and outside of courtrooms to do Trump talking points, because she is pushing the political narrative as well as making sure to show Trump that, hey, don't forget about me. I'm out here doing your talking points, and if you get out of this, I expect to be rewarded.